How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I recently put up a poll asking people, would you rather have a nightmare job where you get paid $1 million a year, or would you rather have a $100,000 dream job? Now, at the time, I didn't really think about how relevant this probably is to a lot of people, from the side that, okay, most people probably aren't going to get 10 times as much money if they go after a job that they don't necessarily like. But I didn't even think how many people and how many times have I even faced it where I thought, okay, do I want this job that pays 10 to 20% more, but is like hard labor or something very difficult or something that I just didn't like very much, versus this other job that was actually pretty fun, but didn't pay as well. So I realized, okay, I've had a variety of jobs, from frozen yogurt sales to roofing for a summer on pitch black roofs at 120 degrees on the roof, and everything in between too. Retail banking. I worked as a respite care worker, so I helped people that had disabilities. I helped change them. I helped them with daily activities. I played with them and stuff like that. I did research for a research lab at a university for free, and then paid too. So I've had a lot of different experiences, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too. And I realize there are probably a lot of people that are kind of in this situation a lot, where they're thinking, okay, do I want this job for $15 an hour or this job for $17? And one pays a little bit better, but it's not as much fun, or it's not something that I really like, or something like that. So I want to go over some of the pros and cons to it. This might be a little bit long-winded. I'm not really sure. Again, I know some of you guys have heard this, but in case there are people watching this in the future and they're wondering why I'm so congested, I do have the Rona. So I am trying to work through that. So I apologize if I say a lot, or if I'm congested or something like that. But I thought this was an important video to make, and the stock market's closed today, so I thought we could have a little bit of fun and probably help out some people. So I want to hear your thoughts on this down below too, because I think, there will be people that have this question, and they might look to the comments and see what you guys want us, or they might be asking or trying to see what people think besides just me. So I thank you guys for hitting the like button. That means a lot. There is a link down there to Webull, so in case you do want to support the channel, if you do want some free money and you want to help out the channel, you can definitely check out that link down below. You can get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850. All you have to do is deposit $100. And if you are interested in getting an interest rate on your cryptocurrency, you can check out the link below. And last thing I should say too, in case you are interested in making money in the stock market, there is a link down there to my Patreon. It's the beginning of the month, so this is by far the best time to sign up for it. Definitely check that out if you're interested. You can see what I'm buying and selling, and you can join over 3,600 other people in there and see what they're doing too. So there are people in there talking about the stock market all the time. So definitely check that out if you're interested. So when I posted this post on my channel, about 42% of people said that they would go after the $1 million nightmare job. Now, after looking through the comments a lot, I saw a lot of people saying that they would take the $100,000 dream job. I saw one post that I think was pretty insightful, saying that if you pick the $1 million nightmare, you've obviously never worked in a nightmare job. And it got me thinking about my own jobs, because I tried to find the highest paying job after my freshman year in college, and it paid $13 an hour, and it was roofing. So we got up, I drove to the site at 6 a.m. So I would have to wake up about 4:30, out the door by 5:25, get there by 6. We'd work from 6 to whenever the job was done, or whatever part we were working on was done, and they never told us. So sometimes that could be 3:30, sometimes that would be 7:45 at night. So there was one night we went from 6 to, I believe it was 7:45. Actually, that might be a little bit short. There's almost a 16-hour day. It was like 15 hours and 45 minutes. And it's just hard labor. I mean, I'm sure some people on the channel have been a roofer before, and it's definitely not the easiest job. So again, it got me thinking about how I've done that in the past, and some other times too where I decided to go with the job that was a little bit easier, and I want to give you my thoughts. So pros on taking the higher amount of money. Now, we're going to compare, let's say, $150,000 versus $100,000, because most people aren't going to be offered 10 times as much. And it's probably not going to be a nightmare job, but let's just say it's not the best job. Or you could compare it even if you want to, like at $50,000 versus $40,000, because there is a big difference there in the amount of money you're making relatively. So we're just going to narrow that gap a little bit. So pros of taking the money. First of all, there's more money to invest. That's a huge thing because most people, hopefully, if you're watching this channel, you're not spending all the money you're making. Hopefully, you're investing some of it for financial freedom down the line. The other thing is you possibly have a higher pay later if you jump to another job. So if you're at a $150,000 job, you can probably step up to another job that's 175, 180, something like that, because you're not going to probably go down in pay from there. So you're going to move up in pay, and since your pay's already higher, you're probably going to get a bigger raise if you go somewhere else as opposed to if you're a lower pay. However, that's not guaranteed, and you can be stuck in this job for a while too, because maybe they're willing to pay you more, but it's just not a good working environment. Then sometimes, another pro of this is I think some people say that you'll never work a day in your life if you work at a job that you love. I don't think that's actually true. I worked at a lot of jobs that I liked, and I know a lot of other people too in my personal life that just don't have a passion for anything really specifically. Like they like hanging out, they like playing video games, they like watching TV, they like, doing a handful of things, but most of those things are really hard to monetize. Like it's very rare that you can find someone that has made money in something that they would do for free or that they pay money to do, like golf expert or something like that. It's pretty rare. So I think some people say that you don't work a day in your life, but I found that no matter what job I've had, there are just some days where I don't feel like doing anything. Maybe that's because I'm burned out from working too long on something else. But I think that that's kind of a pro of the $150,000 job or the higher paying job is, sometimes no matter what the job is, you don't feel like going in. So at least you're getting paid a little bit higher in this case. Now, some of the cons, there are more mental strains. So sometimes it can take you a long time to unwind from that job. And there's like this constant worry or constant, there's a constant like turmoil or a constant dread of going in. So I've had this before where like I got anxious towards the end of the weekend because I really didn't want to go in Monday. And while that can be really problematic, it can be almost debilitating depending on the situation and what job you're in. If there's some emotional strain on it too, there's definitely a lot of mental strain that can happen. And the way I think about it too is, let's say it takes you an hour to unwind every day, half an hour before you go into work, you're upset or, you're anxious or something. And then on the weekends, like Sunday afternoon and on, you're anxious because you really don't want to go in. That's a lot of your free time that is being taken up that is causing you a lot of discomfort, right? That's something where you could be getting a lot more out of life outside of your job if you didn't have that strain. Now, pros of working at the $100,000 job. You can work harder because you like it. That's something that I found, and I think that's probably the major takeaway from this for everyone that's watching, younger people maybe, or people that are thinking about going to another job. I found that you make a lot more money if you like the job you're at because you're on it. You are thinking about it outside of work. You're thinking about it at work. So that might not be the case for everything, right? But if you have a job that you can somehow translate into a personal business, which most jobs you can, a lot of jobs you pick up something that you can make into a personal business, I think at least, you can translate that to something outside that you can make money on. And I think really it kind of consumes you if it's something you like a lot. Like this YouTube, I never planned on getting paid, but I spent a lot of time on it before I got paid $1, and it kind of consumed me, whether it's the algorithm side or the stock analysis side and all that. It's something that I spent a lot of time on. And even if you don't use it now, even if you can't monetize it now, maybe you can use it later in life. Like maybe you move to a different job that you can use it at. I think that that's something you can consider too, even if it's not something that you can monetize right now. The other thing is you actually like going in, which I don't know if you can put a price tag on that. Cons, things can change, right? Even if you love the job, and I think about this a lot for financial independence, some people don't want to become financially independent because they love their job, or they don't want to become financially independent, retire early. But that can change. Whether it is you get laid off, whether it is that your boss leaves and you get stuck with a crappy boss, or one of your coworkers leaves. There's a lot of different situations that can make a job very uncomfortable or make you not like it, and that's just to name a few of them. So situations can change. Also, you're slower to financial freedom. So that's kind of where if something changes and you're not able to move away from your job, that can be a big pain. That can really cause some issues too. So let me know your thoughts on this. What would you take? Would you take the job that's like maybe not a nightmare job? We're not going to go with the nightmare versus dream job scenario, but would you take the job that maybe you just don't really like it that much? Maybe you kind of dislike going in a little bit, but it pays you 50% more? Or would you take the job that pays you a good amount of money, but you could get more on the other job? Let me know your thoughts down below. If it was up to me, I would take the lower paying job as long as it was still like a decent amount of pay, because I honestly think that I could monetize it in other ways, and I'd much rather have like less stress in my life than really be stressed out and make a little bit more, because then I think too you're probably going to end up spending money to try to make yourself happier outside of that. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hitting the like button and checking out Webull or Patreon or BlockFi down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.